there's been conversations about female rap for years. Female rap and their ability, what they are like in terms of what they portray and things of that nature. But I want to talk about female rap from a perspective of when I heard a female rapper mention. This was probably maybe over a year ago. I can't remember particularly, but she mentioned that female rappers don't get respect because they're women. And I don't agree. I think we know, for example, rap has always been a male dominated thing, created by men generally, all those years ago in the 80s. But in terms of rap and the ability, I think that's what we look at first and foremost when we hear any person rap. And I don't think it's just based on being a woman as to why someone may not get respect, or a man, or because you're from this area per se. If you are good at what you do, and generally good can be subjective, but if there's a general consensus based on rap purists, casual rap fans, maybe sometimes even just the impact and influence that rappers are having on culture, that's when we can look at a respect and judge it and see if you're about what you are about or not. Rappers in general always want respect. Artists in general always want respect for what they do. People. But I believe there's assessments that we make on face value from what we see. And then there's also deeper assessments when we start getting to know you a bit more based on what you do and how you do it. And I think female rappers once were looked at a certain way, right? Meaning they were looked at back in the day, in the 90s particularly, as just, I can rap or I can't rap. They're good or they're not good. We could tell. If you're from a certain era and you assess rap a certain way and you grew up around rap and you are a rap sort of follower in terms of what they do, you don't, just listen on the surface. You really are a person that really takes in, tries to understand what people are saying and perspectives. Female rappers, for example, Lady of Rage, Foxy Brown, The Brat, Rah Digger, Eve, Queen Latifah. I can keep going. Missy. They were respected for their rapping ability. Just like the men. Now, that's not to say they didn't have any kind of hardship of trying to make their way into the game and, have issues. But in terms of their abilities, they were always looked at as people who can rap, who can paint pictures in ways where the men had to step their game up if they were even featuring with them. For example, Foxy Brown. In terms of delivery, believability in her flow, in terms of being able to rap amongst other rappers, irrespective of gender, Foxy is one of the best to ever do it. In terms of rapping, that's what I believe. I'm not going to lie, when I was young, and most importantly, if you know as a man, it was, or even as a male, it was a little bit embarrassing to an extent if you listened to certain female rappers, right? But we did it anyway because we knew people like a Foxy, like, I don't know, as I said earlier, Rah Digger or Lady of Rage. They had raps that guys can get with. They had raps that guys can say, you know what? Although she's a woman and she mainly speaks about women-centric stuff, there were some bars and some subject matters in songs that guys can hang with. And that's what rappers did, particularly back then, female rappers. They had music where they can do commercial sounding music, commercially viable music, but also can mix it up and show that, oh, I've got skill. Similes, the metaphors, the descriptive analysis in the way they would rap and deliver it. They stood and went toe to toe with men. MC Lyte was one of them as well. These are just things off the top of my head, artists I remember. So women were respected for what they did. Now, the portrayals, some women portrayed certain aspects, right? And that was for whatever reasons they wanted to do it. But in terms of just rapping, women back then, 90s, 2000s, were respected for being able to spit. being able to rap in ways where when you hear it, there was no kind of confusion of, is that person good? The delivery, like I said, the believability of how they flowed on the records made them stand with the men. Affirmative Action, now a song with Foxy Brown on there. Check the bars on that. Tell me if Foxy, you even care if she's a woman or man. It's because they had a certain level of ability where they were competing. It was like, I'm trying to be the best. That was the era they were from. So that was just standard. And I think when it comes to music, the women and the men knew there was a level that you had to maintain for you to be revered as one of the best. Until today, someone like a Foxy, someone like a MC Light, someone like a Lady of Rage are still known as having some of the best raps to ever touch the game. So I disagreed with that statement that I heard, and I believe it was the artist. I believe it was I forgot who it was. There was an artist that mentioned that they don't get respect based on being women, and it's just a male-dominated game, and we're not respected. But I think if you have the ability to rap, we will, as rap fans, make that assessment first. If we hear the flows, if we hear the different subject matters, if we hear you being able to make a commercially viable song and then being able to make a song where you're making us think in ways where it's like, okay, that's different. Also making music that guys can rock with and not feel away that if they say they rock with it, you know, it's an issue. Now, that's not to say guys don't check for some of the female rappers today. There's guys that do, who are, no, if you want to say it, men of a certain sort of mentality. They will be happy with it, be fine with what's happening today. But back then, it wasn't an issue if you listened to a Foxy, based on the fact that, like I say, they made music that was understandable to also guys. It wasn't just, I'm a woman and I'm talking only to women. It was like they just knew how to speak in ways where more people of different backgrounds, or even the two genders, could say, this is what she's saying, and I'm rocking with it. So we assess as rap, I would say, fans, we assess the lyrics, we assess the bars, we assess the flows, we assess the impact it also has eventually as well on the culture. We assess just the whole package. And I think that's what we do when we talk about music, and particularly rap. And I don't think it's just based on, you know, you're a woman and you're not being respected. If you are spitting, you're spitting. If you're not, you're not. And we can hear who is and who isn't, who has a certain level, who is a bit more intricate, who's a bit more just maybe for the party, who is just a generalized, you know, rap sound where you just hear it and you move on to the next. We know those are rappers that are like that, even within male rap. But with women, they've made headway, you know, since particularly Nicki Minaj came in, since she came, and then there's been headway being made in terms of just more women being known. But in terms of skill, we will always assess skill. Then we will say, okay, what is she saying, or he's saying? And I think it's too easy just to say women are not respected for their rapping. No, it's, are you good? That's how it is. And if people are saying you're a woman and you're not respected, then we don't regard those people. We regard the people that assess you based on your skill. And you have to get the same criticism as the men. And that's what it will have to be. You know, there's no kind of, okay, let's, you know, mark you down differently. No, it's, am I rapping? Am I able to hold songs? Am I able to make different types of songs that different people can relate to? And are the lyrics at a certain level with most of the people that are currently at that level, irrespective of gender? And I think that's where we need to assess things more so, because I don't agree with that statement. It's mainly based on, do I believe what you're saying is at a certain level? And that level, you may say, is subjective, but there are generalities to having a certain level when it comes to rapping. You just have to compare to people of the yesteryear, compare of people that are currently doing it that are revered, and check where you measure. And if you're within, and people can generally say that, and you know the influence shows that on culture, then yeah. But if not, I think we have a right as people to say, you know what, I don't think that's that good, irrespective of your gender. You know, and I think that's what we need to get back into, making it clear that it's all about the skills. The skills always pay the bills, and I think that's where we are, you know, missing when we talk about sometimes even rap in general, irrespective of gender. We're looking at other aspects too much. We're looking at things that are not really that important, because if we're saying rap is an art form, we need to stick to the art of it. The abilities need to be assessed based on who is considered some of the best, and then we make our assessments based off of that. So that's what I believe. Female rap and rappers who are good, we will make an assessment, and rappers who aren't, we'll make an assessment. And the ones that are able to, I would say, speak in different realms, you know, have different subject matters, have music where different people can feel it, those are the ones that generally last. Missy, Foxy, Kim, Lady of Rage, MC Light, these are people I grew up on. Their name stands the test of time because of their quality. It wasn't about their gender. So that's what we need to make sure that is clear. Keep the skills up, keep the standards up, and then the respect will come. The respect will come. Rhapsody, another one. Respected. There's certain people that are respected for their craft at a certain level because they're undeniable. And people who listen to them know how to assess what is good. So that's all it's about. What your skills are about. And as long as you've got that, you're good. So that's my opinion on that. I just wanted to make a few assessments on rapping and women rapping, and the notion that we only, or people only disrespect you or don't respect you because you're a woman. I disagree. But I'll be interested to hear what people think. Please like the video, subscribe, because I've got more stuff coming.